Good morning. Today is September 14th, 2023, and it's been 2 weeks tomorrow since I had BSO surgery. It's a bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy, and in English, the removal of my ovaries and my fallopian tubes. I'm 42. And in May, I found out that I'm a carrier of the BRCA2 hereditary cancer gene, which significantly increases my risk in my lifetime of breast cancer primarily, but also of ovarian cancer and to a lesser degree, melanoma and pancreatic cancer. My mom and my mom and my aunt Carol, both died of metastatic breast cancer. My mom was in her early 50s, first diagnosed at 44, and my aunt was 60, first diagnosed at about 56 or 57. And when I found out that I was a carrier of BRCA2, we didn't know that they were carriers, but they would have been. And when I found out that I was a carrier of BRCA2, it was so clear to me that I had choices at this point in my life, and that my entire life goal is to live a long, happy, healthy life. And for me, that meant making the decision to have prophylactic surgeries. So that means the removal of ovaries and fallopian tubes, and it also means the removal of breast tissue. I've not yet had the breast tissue removed. And there's been so much getting here, and it was a struggle to give myself the grace and the space that I needed leading up to the surgery, and I did it. So I requested time off from work before surgery to prepare myself and to prepare myself, to give myself space, to give myself the rest I needed, and to really listen to what I wanted and needed, and not only prepare myself physically and rest, but also to prepare myself mentally and emotionally and spiritually. And so today, basically, I've been off of work for 1 month, 4 weeks, and it's summertime, which is, I don't know that I've ever been off that long in the summer. Even from being a kid, like I worked in the summer, even from about 12 years old, at least, even before that, I think. And it's so interesting to me how I feel right now. Having this space, being away from work, which I struggle with at the best of times. I am so full of joy. There are all these expectations of how I should feel coming from people, and the very best of intentions. I have love pouring in, and yet there's a bit of like, poor you, oh, this is really hard. You must be feeling stressed out. You must, and people are, when I say, actually, I'm really great. I'm really great. I feel great. My body is strong and healthy and healing, and I'm listening to her, and she's telling me everything she needs, and I'm listening. Like, I'm great. And people kind of are a bit disbelieving about it. And I'm holding that gently, and just sitting with what I do feel. And I feel great. I feel more self-possessed than I think I have ever felt. I feel more powerful than I think I have ever felt. There's this weight lifted off of my shoulders because I have made powerful decisions, powerful choices to support my goal of living a long, healthy, happy life. I have impact and influence here. And I am staying with myself through the whole thing. I deepened my sense of self-trust in this surgery. And one of the things that had been offered to me going into surgery by other people was find something to anchor to. Find something to anchor to. So you can anchor to a person or to a pet. And the suggestion was someone other than me. And I went into surgery that day and I had my husband with me. And I kept asking myself, like, what do I need? What do I need? Like, and what kept coming up was I needed to keep reassuring myself that I was staying with me no matter what happened, no matter what. Even in the very small likelihood that I died on the operating table through complications, I was staying with me. And I needed to keep reassuring myself that I was not going anywhere. And from my perspective, that's like my higher self. It's my more knowledgeable self. It's my wiser self. It's my more essential self that is staying with me and that is encouraging me and that is providing the wisdom and acknowledgement that I need to navigate these sometimes challenging things. They're high emotion decisions. Absolutely, having, at 42, having my ovaries removed and my fallopian tubes removed is a big decision. It puts you into immediate surgical menopause. And based on all the recommendations, I'm on hormone replacement therapy now. And they're big decisions. And I feel so powerful and so grounded and vital. And my body is strong and I am healthy. And there are so many parts of me that feel like, for me, I have, for lack of a better term, I've nailed this shit. Like, I nailed this. I did exactly what I needed to support myself. I asked for what I needed to support myself. I listened to my desires, time off, seeing family that I really wanted to see, reconnecting. I took the space to do ritual before I went into surgery, to thank my body and to listen to what my body was asking for, and to ask my body what it was that she needed and what she needed from me and what she wanted me to know. I spent several days kind of in an introspective place, in communication with my beautiful, delightful body. And all of that relationship building, all of that trust, all of that listening and getting quiet and feeling into the sensations in my body about what was being asked of me and what my body was requiring, it created and deepened the trust that I have in myself and the trust that I have in my ability to make decisions that are in my highest good. And I think in some ways I'm kind of defying the narrative. I don't feel at all like a victim in this. In fact, I feel like my own champion. I feel like my own sovereign woman making these really beautiful decisions that are going to support what I want in my life. I feel like these decisions are like a culmination of the last 20 years of building a relationship and reestablishing a relationship with myself, of reparenting myself, of learning to trust myself, of learning to adore my body. And I adore my body. And I chose to remove parts of it. And, I woke up from surgery feeling fantastic, really. I mean, I felt I was happy, and I felt whole, and the things that I was most scared of felt totally manageable. And I couldn't control anything, but I could absolutely, and I did absolutely meet myself in every single moment. And I knew that I could meet the moment. And so I just kept meeting moments. And even as I was lying on the table, waiting, to go under, basically, and I had the anesthesiologist was said, okay, now we're going, and I could feel the medicine going into my vein to put me to sleep. And I was like, what do I need? And I just needed that declaration again. I am here with you. I am staying here with you no matter what happens. And it was so resonant and so powerful. Leading up to the surgery, even before that, I guess, knowing that I was going to have 2 surgeries, in building kind of the container around that for myself to support myself, I wrote a CVR, which is a context vision results that my teacher Kendra has offered in several different ways, and I've been using it pretty consistently for the last 6 or 8 months probably. And it's such a beautiful thing. It's identifying all the results that I want and that I expect to have at the end of all of this. So it's written in past tense. And there were several things like that every person I met and I was working with in the healthcare sector was wonderful and loving and explained things to me and were kind and were clear, and I felt so well supported and well cared for in the Trail Hospital. The intake nurse, he was wonderful. The surgical nurse, she was wonderful. The surgeon came in and she explained everything to me and said, this is what's going to happen. And she was wonderful. And the anesthesiologist, he came in and met me. Everybody was wonderful. And I felt just so safe and secure and cared for. And I recognized that I set myself up to experience surgery that way. I set myself up to ask for what I needed. I set myself up to be in a really great place. And it was smooth and it was easy, and I healed really well, and I'm still healing. I'm still healing really well. And I just feel so delighted by myself, to be honest. And I mean, there's so many things I could say about this. And I feel like the idea of showing another path through something like this, of offering another option outside of feeling a little bit hard done by, in terms of, you know, this is what life has offered me, and I don't feel at all that this is a detour from my life or from what I want. I feel very deeply that this is my life and this is my opportunity to choose my life and to choose my path and to offer something into the world that maybe hasn't been offered. And I feel so, so fortunate at the opportunity to choose. I feel clear that in my experience, there's wisdom and value for other people. There's a different way to do this. There's a way that builds your inner capacity, not by hardship, but by being self-possessed and being, your own, in your own agency, and being sovereign in your decisions and in how you choose to create the situations around you. And clearly we can't control everything. That's something that is an ongoing practice for me, is understanding and recognizing I can't control things. And control, I've come to learn, is very much about trying to stop things from happening and trying to create rigidity and create structured boundaries that are rigid and often brittle. And on the other side of that, it's about boundary and about that play that can occur at a boundary, the flexibility and adaptability that can occur at a boundary. And again, not about control, but about, how do I meet this with the energy that I want to meet this with? Where do I have influence? Where can I choose and make a decision that points me in the direction of what I want and where I want to go? And how I show up, how I am, how I be, is exactly that. And so moving from control into influence and into choice and into self-possession, it creates a powerful momentum. And I feel like that is so key to living the life that you want. And I think I just want to circle back to, my experience with the surgery. And since the surgery, I've been off for 2 weeks. And this week, it's currently a Thursday, and this week is more, I would say, there's more attention, more energy being able to be focused on my experience and my creativity and how I'm feeling, having been off work for nearly 4 weeks, as compared to last week. Most of my attention was really on my physical healing and on the adjustment to the hormones. And I have to say, the adjustment to the hormones has been so smooth and filled with ease. A few days of tingling hands and feet and feeling a little flushed and a little tiny bit nauseous, but now that is past, and I'm feeling great with the hormones. And this week has been really feeling into, like, how do I feel? And it became clear to me that I have more I want to do. I have more to offer. I have more creativity and curiosity and exploration to dive into than what I've been currently maybe doing. And feeling the way I feel right now and how much freedom and ease I felt in the last 4 weeks, even with a big surgery in the middle of it, maybe even because of a big surgery in the middle of it and how I've met it. I'm just so excited about what's coming and what decisions and choices I'm going to make for myself next. And I really just want people, but especially women, maybe even in a similar position to me with hereditary cancer genes, or even with cancer, we get to choose. We get to create the circumstances of how we are with what life is bringing us. And I fully believe we can meet things in a way that we maybe haven't been offered. And we can meet things in a way that empower us and make us feel like powerful, strong, self-possessed, sovereign women. And we can choose, how we want to speak about what we're doing and how we want to ask for what we need. And I just really feel like there is an entire kind of area of navigating these things that we've only touched the tip of the iceberg. And I really want to encourage you to consider another option. I think I'll end there. And if you have questions for me about my experience, I'd love to answer them. Thank you. Bye for now.